Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Buriram, and we're going to take a look at one of my favorite temples in Thailand. This is a 10th to 13th century temple. It was built by the Khmer when they were in charge of this part of the country. We're going to look at what Phanom Rung, and this one is very cool. It's really been preserved and restored, and it sits up on top of a volcano that's like 403 meters up above the valley floor. And getting up here, you're going up along this windy road, and I'm on my motorcycle, and I had to drop down into, second gear a couple times to get up the hill. It's quite steep. And we're gonna look around at this, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film two videos today. I'm gonna film this one, and I'm gonna film a second video that's down at Mount Kailash. Otherwise, the video would be like 2 hours long. So I'm gonna make two videos about these over here in the historical park. So let's walk around and let's look and let's see what everything looks like today. And when you park, this is over at gate 1. You can park at gate 3, I think, and they charge you to park over there. This one is free. So I came over here and I parked, and this is also where the buses and stuff come. And you're underneath these shade trees, and you just look around. A lot of the volcanic rock and the laterite stones and stuff is all scattered about. And there is a bookstore here. There's a little museum. And there's quite a bit of stuff here. And there's even like a modern temple that's back over here. We're not going to look at it today. We're going to look at the old stuff. They have a little tourist information center here. And then it has the exhibition. Okay, so we're not going to be able to go in there. They do have a new lintel over the door. It's under construction. That's a bummer. There's some cool stuff that's in here. So maybe my next trip up here to this temple, that'll be finished up. So there's going to be dual pricing here. There's a Thai price and a foreigner price. And I think the ticket, it used to be where it incorporated both the lower city plus this one, the Prasat Hin Phanom. So you can see the Thai nationality is 20 baht, and it's 50 for foreigners, or 100 I mean, and then 30 if you want to go to both, or 150. So times 5 for foreigners to go to the two parks. And then we'll buy our tickets up here. So there's the little ticket booth, and it was 150 baht, like I said. You can see we're up here at the top of this hill. We're going to climb some of these laterite stones. Now this has been in use since the, 900s or so. They came in here and there was like a caldera at the top of this volcano. This volcano has been extinct for a few years, I think like 900,000. And there's a little caldera, and they modified it, and they used it as water storage. So there's enough water up here for everybody. And then they started building the temple up here. And this is what it looks like up here at the top of the volcano. So they built a small structure over there. It's all amongst the trees. And then you can see out through the trees the view. It's kind of hazy, so we can't really see too great. And then this is the view that is spectacular. What I like about parking on this side over at gate 1 is you get to go down the Royal Road. This is the favorite part to me of this temple. How cool is this to see it open up, and then you see the prong up there on the hill. And this is kind of the view up here. The trees block most of it, but you can see off into the valley. Hopefully you'll be able to see that on the camera. And this is up here at the top. So this is a crucifix shaped gopura. And there would have probably been like the Naga and stuff like that they would have had constructed up here. But this is amazing that they haul these stones up to the top of this mountain. Holy cow. So we're up here on the very top right here. This is the Royal Pavilion. And I think this was built around the 12th century in the Bayan style. So the royals that would come here, they would change clothes into the ceremonial clothes in this little building. And then they would go up here and they would walk down that royal walkway. And it had wooden tiles up on the roof. And you can see they used a combination of the sandstone and the laterite. You can see the doorways are the sandstone, same as the Naga up here. And then these beams are the sandstone. I really like the way they built them. So they would have quarried them and they would have been in a rectangle, and then they would have brought them in here, and then a stonemason would have carved that into that elegant shape that it's in, and then would have carved all the little details and stuff up at the top. And then they would have also carved all these laterite. So there was a guy with a hammer and a chisel banging away. So if you think, if you're watching this and you work like an office job and you get bored of banging away on a keyboard, imagine with a hammer and a chisel out here, not just for years, but those guys are out here for like their whole lives, decades, banging away. You can see the sandstone here. So they carved those little holes in it, so there would have been another stone sitting on top of it. And this is terraced. And then what I like are these little stones that mark the sides of the walkway. This is the processional walkway. So they covered the bottom of it with laterite stones, and then they have some sandstone over here. It's 9 meters wide and 160 meters long, and has all these little stones right here. These are what's really cool. There's 70 of them, and they are topped with these lotus buds. And these are known as the Sai Nang Riang or the Sao Nang Choran, and that's what lines this. So these are their version of the lotus buds. Very, very nice. So just one of these itself is quite a feat to quarry, carve it, and bring it up here. And they have them all the way along this 160-meter walkway. You can see what they did though. They carved in the sandstone on the bottom and fit a little notch there. There would probably be like a male part that they would have carved into it, and then a female part on the top of these, or on the bottom of these lotus buds, to where it would have fit into place and then wouldn't have fell over. Okay, so we're coming up to the stairwell, and these will have the naga and a few other things, and we'll climb up there and get a good look at the prong right there in the middle. And this is what the little gopura, the entrance, is sitting on. I think this is the Bayan styling here that you would have seen in like the 12th century or so. So they've carved all of those, and then they carved all around here. They even carved the bottom steps. I mean, they didn't miss a beat on detail work. And they carved it all the way around, and then you'll see the nagas. So this naga here has been restored, and there's a few that are in a lot worse shape that you can see how weathered they are. Same as these stairs. It just blows my mind thinking about how much time and energy they put into these. And you can see these are all the naga tail. And then over here, this is a style that they carved into it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I think this is like the lotus flower. And the Thais have came and tossed some coins on it for good luck. We'll cross the dragon bridge and go up. Yeah, that's an 8-leafed lotus, and it's supposed to be like the plan of the universe, which symbolizes like purity and good luck. You can see all the holes and stuff. So they carved the holes in them to help transport them. And it looks like we got some post holes that were here or something. So there was probably another rail or something up here at one time. Now all of this here is sandstone. So this was all quarried and brought in and carved here in place. There's 52 stairs, 5 flights. And you can see the holes that they carved in them. Now on the side up here, there's supposed to be some holes that they put in the ground to where they could hang some lanterns or flags during ceremonies. So that's what those were for. You can see they have a little stone over there on each way. And I think there would have been, at one time, would have been like lions guarding it. That's what you see when you're in Angkor. And here we are at the top of the 5th flight. And now we can really see the temple itself. Oh, how fantastic is this? And you can see here, these are what's left of the little lions. And then we had an entrance over there, and then another entrance on this side. And you can see the wall, and just see we're at the top of the volcano. So they terraced it, and then they've filled in all this dirt and stuff. That tree's taken over that entry over there. Let's look back the 5 stairs, that Naga Bridge, and then that royal procession. Yeah, this is fantastic. So we're at the base of the former Gopura that was at the entrance over here. Just the laterite stones and sandstones are all that's left. They got a couple little ponds with some lilies. You see some of the terrace work that they've done. And then we got another Naga here, another bridge. This is fantastic. Got the lilies all bloomed out. Now there's a couple times a year, there's a sign out front where people come to see the sunrise and the sunset, and they can see it right through the doorways at like the equinox. It's a big event. So I've seen pictures of like hundreds of cameras sticking up. So the second Naga bridge has another one of the 8 blossomed lotuses right there. And then it has the rails. You can see they've repaired it quite a bit. And then the 5-headed Naga. And then this here has the faux windows. That one's kind of cracked. And then the entrance is over there. And then you can see the stones that they used to cover the walkway. And then this carving right here. Oh, that is just fantastic. You can see all the stonework that they did all the way up. And then the lintel has the normal Hindu mythology that you see. And then the pediment up here, that's supposed to be Shiva holding like the rosary in his hand. This was Hindu originally. And then has more of the Naga, more of the stuff over there. Okay, so let's go in. And when you come in here, you immediately can smell the guano. And I can see a pigeon flying around. This is quite dark in here. So you'd have came in and they would have had the Shiva Linga right here. And they've put this up, I guess, probably to keep the bats down. You can see that pigeon nesting right there. But they've carved everything all around. The tops was carved. They just spent so much time, and that's the second pedestal. The camera really shows a lot better than the naked eye. It's quite dark in here. And then you can see here, this was even carved, the lower part of the walkway. You can see the window seals in here, how they're carved at a 45. They did other things to keep them in place. They were masters at their craft. We'll go through this archway. And then this is the center prong. You can see another pediment there, and a lintel. And this is the third little Naga bridge with the 5-headed Naga. And then it has some libraries. So these were all built in different stages. There were some that were added in the 10th century, some in the 11th century, and then they were built up here even as late as the 13th century by Jayavarman VII. I'll put the best description I can in the video so you can read a little bit more about it. I always forget the details when I'm here climbing around. We can see the carvings here. And the lintel is a reclining Vishnu, I believe. And there's a story in the Hindu mythology about Vishnu is reclining on the back of one of the serpents and is creating a new world after the other one's destroyed. And up there's the dancing Shiva, has the multi-arms. And then inside will be the Shiva Linga and some of the other stuff. But all these are restored. You can see the carvings are just too nice. But they've tried to mix in the new with the old. So if they could have put the existing up there, they would have. And then up here, these are all laterite stones and some of the sandstones and stuff. And there would have been the standing figures. All that's left is their feet. Oh, they used some bricks up here also. So we have the combination, all three of the building materials, the brick, the sandstone, and the laterite stones. This is one of the 10th century buildings that's right here. So they think that there might have been 3 towers that you'd have seen in some of those earlier prongs. There would have been 3 towers. So they might have demolished it and then built this. This was in like the pre-rup style or the Gokar style, which is like one of the older capitals of the Khmer before they moved it over to Angkor. You can see the colonnettes, all the styling. It's just unbelievable. You can see how they have the little doorway and then the bricks and the laterite stones. So let's go inside here and let's look, see what all's in here. So in here we have the cow, and it feels fantastic in here. It is hot outside, and here you got the nice cool breeze coming through these doorways. So this is kind of cool. They got a little Brahma right there, and then they have the lotus. And you can see the size of these stones are just huge, and how they've made those doorways, and all the carvings up through there. And outside here you can see more of the style. And they do have the intact figure over there. That one's been restored. And here you can see the Shiva Linga. And that lintle's in pretty bad shape right there. This one here is the 5 Yodi lintel. And that middle one is important. It goes into the sect that they believe founded this temple. And then here's the Shiva Linga stone. And then over here, this is where the water would have ran out. So they would have dumped the water on it, and it was part of their ceremony. Lots of bats in here too, lots of guano. Then we can go out into this right here. So how fantastic is this? If you came here right at the equinox, the sun would rise and set right through these doorways. It would be quite spectacular. And they have this little prong right here. They call this Prang Noi. This was built in the 11th century. And the top of it is not finished. But this pediment here depicts Krishna lifting the Govardhana mountain. It's the 8th incarnation of the god of Vishnu. And then it has the pediment inside here for the stone. I could hear the pigeons in here. So the top of it is open, but they have some pro panel over it. Then you see the normal styling where the east entrance is open, and then the other 3 cardinal directions will have the faux doors. And then this is the gallery that goes all around it. You can see the stones that they carved to do the ceiling, the roof tiles and stuff. And then we can see the main prong right here. And this is quite hot up here. When you're out of the trees, it is scorching up here. But what a fantastic scene this is. So in the old days, the people who would have came here to worship, they would have had to climb the mountain. So it would have been quite a feat just to get up here. And then it would have been quite rewarding for them to see this when they got all the way up. You can see the Thais posing over there. So there's the one standing figure that's intact. And then all the rest of it. We'll look in here. This will be the last little building we look in up here at the top. I really, really like the laterite stones with the sandstone combination. I'm not a big fan of the brick, but the brick was easy for them to use. The laterite stone was pretty easy for them to carve also. And sandstone was not too tough as far as it goes. So this one here is built in the 13th century in the Bayan style. It's one of the newer additions by Jayavarman VII. So the pilgrims would have came here and they would have prayed also. You can see the pigeons nesting up in here. Yeah, very, very nice. The standing door guardian. Definitely been restored because otherwise he'd just be down to his feet. All right, let's look out the entrance on this side and you can see into the valley, I think. And this is the entrance on the west side. Got somebody posing here in the doorway. And this is looking from the top of the stairs over here. So this is the other parking lot. So you can park on the east or the west side of this and then come up here and see it. And they've restored the lions that are here, and then you can look down into the valley. So the Khmer called these the Singha. And they were believed to inhabit the Himavanta forest on the mountain Kailash. And they were symbols of what was garden heaven. And they are guarding the doorways here, or the entrances. And we can see the outer wall, that pediment, all the naga, the faux windows, the entrance is over there, and then the Khmer prong that's sticking up, and that's at the top of this volcano. Yeah, that is fantastic. This is a great view of the temple from right here. We're outside the wall, so you can see the entranceways, the gopuras, and then you can see the whole prong sticking up. Unbelievable. All right, guys, that's going to finish up our video up here at Phanom Rung. This is fantastic. If you want something really cool to do and you're in Buriram, come over here and see it. I would say this is a must-see if you're in this part. And it's also worth, to me, it's worth a trip over here to Buriram just to see this. And like I said earlier, I will go and I'll make another video down at the lower city at Mount Kailash, so you can see both of them. And I'll probably pin a comment to both of them amongst the videos and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video up here. If you've been to this temple and you liked it or whatever, tell me your thoughts down below in a comment. If you have any questions, let me know also. And if you liked the video, definitely smash the like button. All that stuff helps me, the comments and the likes and the subscriptions. Plus you're notified when I post a new video. And until next time, from over here in Buriram, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.